So they can only take blood from the left elbow down, and because I had blood clots everywhere, and they had to take blood every day. And this girl came in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she said, look, I'm really good at what I do. I'm only going to be here in a minute. For a minute, I'm going to take blood, and I'll be out of here. And she said, and I'll come in every morning about the same time, and hopefully you won't even wake up. And she was damn good at what she did. But one morning she came in, and I was awake, and I was rubbing my arm, but I was talking to my arm, and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you for what you're enduring for me, and you're going through so much, and I'm so sorry. You're taking it for the team, basically. But I was sending energy to my arm and sending healing light. And so fast forward the next morning, 24 hours later, she comes in to take blood. And look, I was black and blue. And my bruises are gone. And she just stared. She said, baby, what? Wait. And then it's registering with her because she witnessed what I was doing, sending my arm love. And now it's clicking. Wait, and she went and told the nurses at the nurse station, look what this girl did. I didn't even realize the magnitude of it because I had been sleeping most of the day, but my arm was healed. That, and they still talk about that. That was such a testament to how powerful our energy is, right? And what love can do and what healing energy can do. Because when I was rubbing my arm, like literally talking to my arm, I felt so much compassion for this limb that was just taking a beating and just kept trying. Isn't that weird? It's like I'm treating it like a separate entity, but I did. I felt so much love for it. And when I looked down at my arm the next morning and saw the bruises had cleared up, I think I was just as shocked as she was. But I was shocked, and my response to it was an emotional response, like tears. Again, I don't need to define the tears. They were just tears. They just poured out of my eyes, and I had moments like that. I had a lot of moments like that where I just let the emotion out. And, what do? It's... my whole world changed in a moment's time. One day my world was functioning a certain way, and the next day I'm not even told you're going to be inpatient for a couple of days and then go be referred to an oncologist. I'm like, when I was told I'd be in the hospital a month, my first thought was I need to make a list of what I need. But my second thought was, how do I put that? I guess it was matching up with what I knew. Like I knew I was that sick, but I also knew something needed to shift. The fatigue I had felt for so long needed to shift. And so I just feel grateful for all of it. The part that I really, really want to focus on, though, is the after part. The part that no one talks about. The part when you go home and everybody moves on with life and you're still trying to pick up the pieces. It's a lonely path. Not that I didn't have support, but it's a lonely path because, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be bitching about it. But, oh my gosh, I was shocked. I'm like, why am I was shocked when I started feeling this depression when I should have felt happiness. And so it was a roller coaster. And I'll be completely transparent. I made up my mind that I was going to end my life. I had made up my mind. And the reason was, did I feel down? Yes, but it wasn't like a typical depression. It was because my body wasn't cooperating. Well, I know that in the spirit world, if somebody has a failing body, they don't look at that as suicide. That's like the old Dr. Kevorkian when he did assisted suicide. They actually don't look at that as suicide. Now, if you have a healthy body and you commit suicide, that's different. But I felt like I could be of service to humanity in a pretty powerful way without this physical body. And like it was getting in the way of what work I could do. That's how I felt. So I had decided to end my life, I was going to go talk to my family. I didn't want them to be shocked. I wanted to let them know. I wasn't going to discuss it to get opinions. I was going to let them know what my plans were. And my plan was to do that in my life in a couple of months. I wanted to get everything done, get my stuff, get things cleaned out. I just didn't want to leave anybody with a mess. And I said, if they don't do an autopsy, then I'm good, because, they hear the word cancer, they're not going to want to be worried about an autopsy. Then my life insurance would pay out. Like, I had all this planned out. And I felt really good about the decision, almost to the point where I was happy. One day I was sitting outside and I was looking at my flower bed, and I was thinking about this rose that I was looking at and how perfect it was, which led me to the thought of, this is God, right? Nature, that's God. You see, can you find God in a church? Yeah, but I don't want to find God in a building. I find God right here. The perfection of this. And then I went up and I smelled it, and I just closed my eyes and I took this long inhale. And here comes Lola, my spirit guide. Oh, sweet Lola over my shoulder. And she said, hey, Stace, when you're not here, meaning when you're on the other side, after you die, you don't get to experience the physical world like this, or physical anything like this. And I turned around and gave her the side eye as if she was standing behind me. And I said, Lola, stop. I love her. But I understood what she was getting at, because I didn't just hear it, I felt it. Meaning that the physical world is something we all crave. We crave this experience. Do you know that when we're in heaven, we don't have a physical body? We can manifest ourselves into, like when people see an apparition, it's not the physical dense body. Imagine like what it feels like when you hug somebody, when you really love them and you hug them and embrace them, and it just makes the love feel even stronger, right? We don't get to experience that way. Or if somebody has a favorite food, you don't get to experience that way. It's not the same. The physical world is a really great gift. We crave this. We want it when we're not here, because I used to say all the time, I can't wait to be on the other side. And Lola would say, yeah, but when you're here for a while, you crave the experience of being back on Earth. I'm like, bullshit. But it's true, because this is such a magnificent opportunity, not only for growth, but just the physical. When I was smelling that rose, she just, isn't that convenient? She conveniently popped in right when I smelled the rose to let me know this is something you could be missing out on. And I'm saying that sarcastically. I love Lola. She knows how I am. But I appreciate that. She came in at the perfect time, because I got the message loud and clear, and I thought to myself, okay, let me stick this out. Let me give it a week or two. And instead of saying, nope, I've changed my mind, I'm going to stay here and stick it out, I just said, let me give it a week or two. Let's see how it goes. So I have no demands on myself. I have choices, right? And then a week goes by, and just really beautiful things happen. I have these amazing readings, and just so healing. And then one night, Deb and I are sitting outside and under the tin roof, and it's pouring down rain. And I'm like, we both said it in unison, we're so grateful to be here. We just have this magnificent backyard and these healing trees, and that's just more, it's reiterating, right? That the physical part is something that is a human being that we crave the experience. Why would I give that up? Well, I could justify it in my mind, and just like anyone, right? Who's feeling down, and I'm saying this to all the people who have considered suicide, stick it out, because I know I had convinced myself that it was okay because my body isn't functioning the way I want it to, And then I just said, Stacey, I literally said this in the mirror, I've got you. You can't heal overnight. You still have arsenic in your freaking body. I need to be patient. I need to be kind to my body, and I need to give myself grace. Do you know I'm 53 years old. I have never given myself grace. I've never even used the word when it concerns me. But when I said that I need to give myself grace, I literally felt the word through my whole body. Grace is it's a beautiful word, right? And it's gentle. And so I said that I need to give you grace. I mean, you just endured so much. Here's me wanting to go. And here's you trying to heal, and you're doing the best you can every day. And I am sorry that I was putting demands on you. And you know what? It's okay. Show up, do the best you can every day. And if there's some days that you're not at your greatest, it's okay. I love you anyway. And that is what started, that's what kept me here, y'all. I mean, it's what kept me here. I've said for years I would never commit suicide. You have to understand this. I'm not coming from this place of desperation. Like, I don't want to live anymore. It's not how I was thinking. My thoughts were, there's so much I want to do here. I know my purpose is to be of service to humanity. I know that. I've always known that. But all of a sudden I'm limited. And I just felt like I could do so much more without this physical body. But when it hit me, I'm going to disregard this physical body that's done so much for me. I would be missing out on a really great opportunity, which is self-love. I would be giving up that. And no, I'm not going to do that. The whole reason I had cancer to begin with was to give me the opportunity to learn this. And I'm going to stick it out. So I'm here to stay. I don't know for how long, but I am not going to be the one that takes me out of this world. I am going to give back to my body what it's given to me, which is everything. Self-love is such a weird thing. Like, it's just so weird. And cancer, when I think about the whole process of this, it's so brilliant how this plan played out, how it's given me the opportunity to learn this, and how easy it's been to learn it. Because, when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, 40 pounds in 3 weeks, and then they want to weigh you every day. So it's almost like slapping it in your face every day. Oh, you weigh such and such. And the scale's moaning, get off my back, Like, it's almost like in flashing, billboard lights. Fat ass! And that's how I felt. And then they woke me up every morning. I'm like, look, you don't have to get me up at 6 a.m. to weigh me. How about weigh me at midnight? I'm not going to weigh any more or any less than 6 hours. And that took talking to 2 or 3 nurses to actually get that approved. Can you believe it? Because they'd wake me up right when I would get settled finally. Because, they keep you up all night. I had to negotiate that. I'm like, I should not have to negotiate this. Just bring the scale at midnight, please. Okay, next recording.